You guys ready with the camera? Okay, so here we go. So good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining in after yesterday. So we didn't we didn't spoil you. You didn't observed by the day yesterday. That's a good thing. So for today, I don't want to talk too much and too long. Just very short briefing, like pilots and controllers should do before their shift, anyways. What will be in today is the morning session from 10 to 12. What we'll focus on is very precise phraseology and proceedings because, you had a look at the simulator, you were very well and very quick learning. So today I want to have some kind of sharp training where we, at least the supervisors will take very much look for your phraseology if you work it right the way. We had yesterday some occasions where I said, okay, come on, just push those aircrafts through. It does not matter really at that point of time that it's correct phraseology and that the controller issue a command. Today, it has to be the way that you just, the pilots just move the aircraft. If the controller gives a command, the controller should give the appropriate commands. If you don't understand what the controller says because, he got mixed up somehow, ask him and ask him again until you know how it works. That's the important thing. And so this will be the morning session, and in the afternoon session we'll have quite some surprises for you. We'll put that in and you will notice it as soon as it comes up. So I want you then to get a bit more into inconvenient situations. So this morning we'll be in a very convenient situation, same scenario, just that we learn by heart and learn very proper. So even if on Tuesday, the controllers of CAS are standing behind you and listening to you, they think, those are really great pilots and controllers, so we could nearly hire them. So that's the idea for Tuesday. And for this afternoon, we just want you to get to in inconvenient situations so that you not get into panic if something goes wrong and if suddenly something happens which you're not expecting. So that's what we're going to do there. Just one thing to mention within that morning briefing. Yesterday, I think it was quite okay to say, just taxi to the runway. If the controllers were anyway overwhelmed by the whole situation and the pilots as well, it's okay just, to find your way through. Of course, it is not the situation on a real airport. You're not allowed to go just taxi where you like and then go along. We had that situation, I think it was down here. It was up there in the Whiskey 6, where one aircraft just vacated, other one coming just opposite, and they were just standing in front. The controller asked, okay, what can I do now? And the only thing you just can do is, get a pushback truck or get two pushback trucks and a lot of tools to get those aircrafts then out again. So we like to prevent those situations today. Keep an eye on that and assign the correct taxiways. That is very difficult in the first way because, Changi is a complex airport. My hometown Braunschweig has actually an airport, just one runway, one taxiway beside, and one or two possibilities to vacate. So that's an easy airport. You learn it within 5 minutes. But Changi is quite a complex airport. Anyhow, because, also controllers like to have, simple thinking. They have taxiways named after a very certain schema. So if you look, this is actually because north is in another direction, like you can see. So this is the eastern side, and all taxiways on the eastern side are called with an echo in front, so that's easy. All western taxiways are called with a whiskey in front, so that's easy again. So you can just, remember yourself if you want to taxi an aircraft somewhere, let's say from a stand to the runway, there has to be an echo in front. If you say, okay, taxi holding point runway 20 center via, and you can say echo right away, and then you check which echo to go. So this is first thing to remember. The connecting taxiways, again, are named for the direction they are in. So all taxiways on the northern side are with a November, all taxiways on the southern side with a Sierra. So that's quite easy. Actually, I don't know why they took the Papa taxiways just parallel to the runways, but you can remember it exactly by that phrase. Parallel to the runway is Papa. So that is what you can remember then. And all the lineup and vacation runways are just, numbered from north to south. So it's Echo 1, Echo 2, Echo 3, down to Echo 11. And on the other side again, you have Whiskey 1 to Whiskey 10. So quite easy. If an aircraft tells you they vacated at Whiskey 1, runway 20 right, you know it's not true because, well, it's not able to land here and vacate directly on the taxiway. So you know there is something wrong. It's quite easy to estimate. All the vacations will happen at Whiskey 6, Whiskey 7, maybe if you have a very heavy, fast incoming aircraft, Whiskey 8. So these are the only taxiways you have to take into account there. And same for the departure runway. Well, actually, there will be no, we call it an intersection takeoff. So if you don't go at the very beginning of the runway, like Echo November, then it's called intersection takeoff. And for sure, you won't do an intersection takeoff in that direction. So you just have to encounter Echo 1 to Echo 3, actually. Even not Echo 3, it's Echo North, Echo 1, Echo 2. Those three are the main line-up points for you. So for the pilots as well as for the controllers, these are the only line-up points. You don't have to do any, or don't have to care about anything else. Yeah, and then it's quite easy again. The connecting taxiways, November Charlie and Sierra Charlie, they are also just countered from north to south. So you have November Charlie 1, November Charlie 2, 3, and Sierra Charlie 1, Sierra Charlie 2. So that's quite, actually the scheme is very easy. For the controllers, we do have exactly that picture on your working position. I know that some of the controllers are thinking the other way around because they look the other way onto the airport. That's a kind of mixing up. If that troubles you too much, well, tell it the supervisors and we'll turn around for the next training. It's just, you know, you need to get a bit into action and then tell us what is the right stuff to work with. That is also for the pilots, also for the controllers. If you say, well, nice screen you gave me, but it's not zoomed in, I like to have it zoomed in, or I like to have exactly just that point of map, then just tell us and we'll adapt it. That's part of the way we have to do it so that you can work very, very efficient. Last thing to mention about the airport layout, the stand allocation is quite difficult. If you have an aircraft, you know, coming in and you know, well, you see it's taxiing to stand, let's say something like Fox 3, and you say, well, where's Fox 3 on that airport? That big map and all the naming on stuff, you search for 5 minutes to find it. Quite easy, just, you know, go clockwise around the terminal 2. So this is Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Fox, and then you just can go clockwise and you'll find it quite fast. So take that schematic layout into account. I think it helps you very much in finding the right taxiways and you don't search on the map where to go. Basic principle for the controller is quite easy. You should have, or that's actually what recontrollers do have in mind all the time. It's just one standard taxiway, how they bring the aircrafts in and how they bring the aircrafts out. So what they tell is just exactly the same if there is no deviation. So if I have an aircraft, well, I know that maybe I'm going with a vacated aircraft, Whiskey Papa, so I won't interfere with the departures, which go in Whiskey Alpha, then November Charlie 3, and then Echo Papa. So this is my basic route. And now an aircraft comes in saying, okay, I want to go to, well, let's say Delta, Delta stand. I just tell them, okay, then taxi Whiskey Papa November Charlie 3. Okay, I don't have to go to Echo Papa, so just your stand Delta 1, 2, or whatever. So that's the basic principle of how you work. You just have one route you have laid down before, and you know that you will use it every time and every time and every time. And if now something happens, like let's say there's an there's a departing aircraft which is blocking out you on Whiskey Papa because they went wrong way or whatever, just standing there. Then you say, okay, then you deviate from your standard route and take another route, but just in that case. So you got a very, very same working principle, and you just deviate if there's, you know, anything coming into it. So that's much more easier to work with. For the pilots as well, listen to your controller, get, you know, that schematic or that method they have out of them. So if you, that's always what we discover in the simulator with our pilots and controllers in Germany as well. As soon as the pilots notice, okay, that is his working scheme, that is how he does his job, it's quite easy because you know in advance what he will be saying. So if you vacate with an aircraft, okay, you know he's going by Whiskey Papa November Charlie. You don't have to, well, listen that closely to his commands. Just if anything deviates, well, you have to be quite careful with it, of course. So that's been principle how to work. Anything else about that? Any questions? Otherwise, I would say we just rush up. For the supervisors, have a sharp look on them today. Give them points, and here we go. yeah, right away, say maybe the same working positions. We have to check if everybody's in. I heard already one controller is missing maybe. So we check on that.